Well, hello folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Custard Prophet. We're back here for some more ETS2 career mode save with the Custard Haulers. We are going to be taking some sulphuric acid, yes, sulphuric acid, a nasty substance, all the way from Barcelona where we left off in the last one, up to Valencia on the coast. Today we're going to be talking about achievements in the Iberia DLC, where we are going to be spending quite some time. And within this particular drive, we're not going to be working towards one achievement, not two achievements, but three achievements. We'll talk about exactly how that works once we get underway. But this is what we've got. We've got our fancy truck. We've got the sulphuric acid on the back. Let's have a look at the drive that we've got ahead of us. So we're going to be coming out of Barcelona, and then we're going along the coast. So we go all the way down towards Valencia, down the bottom there. So as you can see, we're coming in here to this this location, TS Atlas. We'll talk a bit about that particular location, and you can see we're going to be picking up a scenic viewpoint along the way. But this should be a pretty drive, I think. We'll be doing a little bit of time lapsing. It's just going to be about just over 6 hours. We've got 476 kilometers to go. Let's get on the road and we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll dive into a time lapse. I can't even remember how to get. I think we've got to go back around here. Already very impressed with what this DLC has got to offer. What I can tell you is the city of Barcelona, the traffic control systems they've got there are completely insane. I have either so many roundabouts. What are you doing, mate? Can't see on the right side, so we'll just pop out a little bit. You going to let us out? He was letting us out. What a nice man. We don't want to be slamming our sulphuric acid all over the place. Yeah, not a nice substance. I've worked with that myself a little bit. But yeah, I've got all sorts of weird and wonderful chemical stories, but I'm not sure I can share them. Right. Okay, so we're waiting up here. So let's just talk a little bit about why we are working towards 3 achievements. We're not going to be collecting any of those achievements in this particular part of the game, because all of them take a little bit of time to get your head around. But we are going to be working here towards the Conquistador achievement, which is getting all of the 15 cutscenes. We've got one already. We got that in Barcelona, and you saw that we'll be getting the scenic viewpoint cutscene. We'll be getting that in Valencia as well. So that's achievement number 1 that we're going towards. We're also we're also going to be doing the. Oh, sorry. No, I've got that wrong. The Conquistador achievement is not that. The Conquistador achievement is all 51, visit all 51 cities. So we've already got one of those, Barcelona. We may well be getting more of those. I'm not 100% sure if any. We'll pick up any of those as we drive past. Possibly not, but we'll see. I'm enjoying the scenery already. Just on the outskirts of Barcelona. Didn't see the Sagrada Familia, but let's just, while we're here, let's just have a look. Can we see it? I guess Barcelona is back there, but yeah, nothing doing. Cannot see it. Let me know if it's in the game. That would be awesome. So the next one we're doing is the Grand Tour achievement. That is the 15 cutscenes in the game. So we've got one of those we'll be picking up number 2. And the other one is the Let's Get Shipping achievement. So for that one, we got to go to all of 11 of the container ports in Iberia. So those are all marked out by TS Atlas. That's the delivery site you want to go to. We need to deliver a load to each one of those ports. So so we're going to be getting number 1 out of 11 there. So we're making some considerable progress, I think. Talk a little bit about the other achievements in a second. I also want to talk a little bit about trains, and thank you very much to the fantastic folks in the comments who pointed out it was one person in particular who pointed out some interesting facts about how trains work in the game. Right, let's do a little bit of a time lapse. I think this might be a nice one, but let's see how we go. Right, folks, well, we have only got 200, just under 250 kilometres to go and almost broken the 3-hour barrier. So we've been at this about halfway there. I think drive is going really well. As you said in the comments previously, Spain feels a lot more like the States in terms of there is just lots and lots of motorway driving, or whatever the Spanish equivalent to a motorway is, whatever it's called. Does seem to be that's the case. So it's, I guess, yeah, it's saying it's a little less interesting. It makes sense that you kind of need that because obviously the distances that you're covering in Spain are quite massive compared to, for example, Greece. So you make up for that with some winding roads, but it will mean that you kind of are losing perhaps some of those kind of quaint little Spanish vistas and things that you might have got. But maybe they still exist centrally, I don't know. I did want to ask you a question. I saw something on the map. So this is where we are. As you can see, actually, we look well over halfway now. But I did notice down here, it's a little bit of a weird thing. And I don't know whether this is maybe a hidden road here. So here, there's these two little dots there. Is there a hidden road here? Same over here. It's not maybe it's not been kind of properly hidden. But it sort of suggests something must be here because it's clicking to it. And you see that there as well. I'm gonna have to try and find one of these places. I don't know if it's absolutely everywhere or just in a few places, but maybe this is kind of like really early hidden hidden road type stuff. So we are enjoying our little drive with the sulphuric on the back of our truck. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other achievements though. We've mentioned the first three, so those were the Conquistador achievement, that's getting all the 51 cities, Grand Tour Guide, that's getting the 15 cutscenes, and then Let's Get Shipping was going to 11 or the 11 container ports with any sort of load. So that's TS Atlas is where you're going to. So that's 3 of them, but there are a couple of other. No, there's actually 6 achievements in Spain. So let's go through the other 3. So we have. Oh Christ. We have the Taste the Sun achievement, and that's delivering an ADR cargo to all solar power plants, which seems a bit more of a tricky one. It might actually be just 5. I'm just not able to count. And the other one is the Iberian pilgrimage, where you deliver from Lisbon, Sevilla, and Pamplona to A Coruña. So you just do those deliveries. Doesn't appear to have to be anywhere specific, just to that location from those other locations. So that feels like it's going to be a relatively straightforward one. I think the Taste the Sun one is the tricky one though. I feel there is another one I just haven't written down, but let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for those who have pointed out when Iberia came out. It was 2021, and it was the DLC before West Balkans, so that was just before a little bit before I started exploring this part of the game, or exploring this game at all. I was doing other things in 2021 on this channel. It was definitely still here. It's been around since I think 2019. I think it says on my little logo. I think that's when I started. Been doing it for 6 years now, believe it or not. Those 1,000 subscribers are well earned. Right, folks, we have a little bit more driving to do. Remember, we are going to be talking a little bit about trains before we finish up. Already seen one of those trains, and kind of exploring how they work in the game. Fascinating topic, and thank you very much to Megatron Decepticon for leaving your take on how they all work. I think I might also share a story of bad science, given that we've got something so nasty on the back. Ooh, we need to be over here. Oh Christ, yeah. We're in terms of sulphuric acid. That feels like something that would be worth doing. So we've got about just an hour and a half. We'll probably just do a little bit of a time lapse, probably for an hour in game, and then we'll come back and we'll just regale you with a couple of stories just before, as we're finishing. Right, we are coming to our turn off here. We're going to just pop off the road here. We have picked up Valencia already. We picked up on this main road, so that's 2 out of 51 in the Conquistador achievement. So that feels like that's pretty good. We've got a weird little bit of stuff going on down here. We've got to go around like two little twirls to get back the way we came, which is fun. So let's talk about trains, and actually let's talk about the fact we have had a complete lack of any view of the coast. Despite going all the way down the coast, I have yet to see the sea, which is something. So I don't know why that is, but yeah, let's just briefly discuss Oh, we want to be there. Trains. How do trains work in the game? Because I really wasn't sure about that. So Megatron Decepticon filled us in with how his understanding was that they worked. So in the main, the way that most trains seem to work is that they kind of spawn in and spawn out basically when you're not around them, which makes sense, because if they were going around, as I kind of half suggested, which is kind of what I wanted, yeah, we want to go this way. If they were going around for like properly and sort of going around the map, then that's going to eat up a whole load of space, isn't it? For memory space, we're kind of figuring out where that train is at any one point. So it does kind of make sense. You wouldn't want to do that when it's not necessary. So these things will spawn in as needed. He also mentioned that. Well, actually, no. We'll get to that in a second. The other way that some trains work, I think in the very early parts of the maps, is pretty much that they kind of do loops, and then at the end of the loop, they kind of respawn to the start of the loop. If you know what I mean. There we go. We're going down here. So that seems to be the couple of ways that trains work, but the majority are just spawn in and then spawn out when you're not around anymore. But he does say that some of those trains go into they'll go into industries and pull up in industries. I have never seen that, and I feel that would be so awesome. I've been talking about this for a little while, about a little bit more action going on when you get to these industry locations, so you actually can, you've got things to try and avoid, trucks driving around and stuff like that, as long as they make doing sensible things and not driving into the side of you. How much more fun would that be if you've got a real life industry location doing its thing, going on with everyone doing their thing alongside you, trying to drop stuff off, rather than the way it is where each one is a bit of a ghost town because no one's driving around in there. They're driving on the roads but nowhere else. So I think we're in Valencia at the minute. This looks very Valencia-like. I guess I've never been there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And I did promise I was going to talk a little bit about a little story about a dangerous chemical. And that dangerous chemical is liquid nitrogen. So that's at minus 196 degrees centigrade. It's incredibly cold. If you put something in there like a flour or something like that for a short period of time, bring it out, it will turn brittle. It's that cold. So I started work in a lab on my first day. I was given a sort of induction into this particular room, and what I found out was I was going to be working in this room, and the person who used to work there was retiring on the same day. I had no experience, and then just kind of thrown into that, which was interesting. But I found out something about this guy. He was old school when it came to his science, and he had a little party trick which he showed me involving liquid nitrogen, and that was that he could gargle it. So he in front of me took a load of liquid nitrogen in his mouth and just swirled it around his mouth. The point of that, and how you avoid getting horribly burnt, what do we want to do? I think we want to be in this side. Yeah, the way you avoid being horribly burnt there is if it never goes in the same place. If you just keep moving it around, it basically, the nitrogen turns into vapor, so the liquid never comes in contact with your skin. It works. I can do it with. I've done it in the past with my hand. So I put the hand in liquid nitrogen, and you have this. The nitrogen fumes around your hand, and you never actually touch the liquid, as long as you don't leave it in for too long, and otherwise you get massively burnt. So don't recommend doing that unless you know what you're doing. Anyway, folks, that is a slight aside, and we are coming to the Puerto ferry, and there is somewhere along here, where is that, a scenic viewpoint. Where is our scenic viewpoint there? I am not seeing that anywhere. Should be just there it is, just there on the right. There we go. We'll pop in there. I'm going to do a little bit of a turn around just so we can get out of this hopefully relatively easily. Let's see what this is. Presumably this is just like the port of Valencia or something like that. Oh, look at that. The port of Valencia. 2 out of 15 on the Grand Tour. So let's see what we've got here. Ministerio de Fomento Capitana Marittima. I don't speak Spanish. I've never ever learnt Spanish. A bit of German and a bit of French is basically as much as I've got. 0 Spanish. But it's a nice looking. I mean, it certainly looks like a working port, a very busy port. Look at the amount of space it's got for different container ships, and those things are enormous. So just randomly got a sailboat in there. Nothing else, just a sailboat. 2 boats. That's where we store them. Yeah, pretty impressive. I mean, it must be an absolutely massive port looking at it. And I think they've done a really good job of portraying that. I think they have. Ah, there we are. There it is. That's where we want to go. I believe, because I've just seen the sign. So, we're going to go over here. And down here, TS Atlas. This is going to be number 1 of the Let's Get Shipping achievement. Well, it's only a 40. Oh, you can see there, we've got to just put it in there. It doesn't look like it's going to be utterly ridiculous, does it? I mean, the one issue we've got here is I can't really see where the bollards start. That's the big issue I've got here. Love the sounds though. Look at it, sounds just like you would expect. Ooh. Right, I'm trying something here, which is probably a bad idea, but I'm trying to kind of... Right, I think what we have pretty much done here is screw that up. So we're going to try that again. Just trying to get this flat. Almost there. It's not as easy as it looks, this one. Right, this should be much. Oops. Helps if I turn the right way, doesn't it? And then, ooh, come on. Come on. In we pop. And then here. Turn. It's gotta be something like that. There we go. Not the best, but we will take it. And that should be Let's Get Shipping 1 out of 11. Well done, folks. I don't know why I'm telling myself well done, but almost up to level 39, which is pretty good. We've still got £4.7 million in the bank. Again, that's crept up on us. So that's nice. Not sure what we'll do next, but if you've got suggestions, let me know. I'll certainly look out for some of the achievements, and we'll also have a look, as we do every time, for things like the Orient Express drive. So as you can see, nothing doing on that particular drive. Going to Strasbourg, not seen it this time. I was given a really good suggestion on one way to maybe get that, and if we really are struggling, we might end up kind of exploring that approach as well. Won't reveal what it is just yet. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you for the next one. Goodbye.